Hello, how are you all? I hope you're doing well. It is just not a good day for CNN. And is fake news finally imploding on itself? Is it finally eating itself? Maybe. I have reason to believe that CNN could possibly be doing a big overhaul, and I hope they do because this is just not a good look. And good news is, with the Warner Discovery merger, Discovery is going to basically, Discovery is basically going to own CNN. And John Malone, who is the biggest shareholder in this merger, had some words about CNN. He actually praised Fox News. By the way, Fox News, if you look at the ratings charts, Fox News has 14 of the top 15 mainstream news outlet shows. CNN, they basically triple CNN in viewership every night. After Donald Trump left office, CNN lost 70% of their viewers. And I'm pretty sure the 30% that remain watching CNN, I think they're just like suburbanites somewhere that are super leftist that just want to watch someone echo back they're crazy to them. I think they're all on libs of TikTok, all of them. That's just me. I don't know. Because everyone across the board just knows that CNN is filled with crap. And it really seemed to change around 2015. Because when I was growing up, CNN was always the middle of the road mainstream news outlet. You knew that Fox was right, but CNN was supposed to be the objective, like CNN, your trusted news source. And then I think it was around 2015 when Trump went down that escalator and announced that he was going to be the Republican nominee. That is when CNN broke, and they just went full on propaganda, orange man bad. The Russia hoax, the good people on both sides hoax, the children in the cages lie. I mean, just lie after lie after lie after lie. And that's what they have become recently. Oh, but John Malone, the biggest shareholder in CNN, has actually said that he really wants CNN to get back to doing journalism, and that's what news should be. He wants good journalists on CNN, and he wants it to get back to its roots, and I think that is very, very smart if they want to save CNN. But recently, CNN has been the topic of a lot of our conversations because of the whole Chris Cuomo scandal. Chris Cuomo was suspended after a report came from the AG of New York saying that Chris Cuomo was helping his brother Andrew Cuomo, who was the governor of New York at the time, and had a lot of allegations against him. Well, Chris Cuomo was using his position in media to help his brother, and that was a huge ethics violation, big conflict of interest. So that information came to light. Chris Cuomo was suspended while they investigated. While they were investigating, they had a lawyer reach out to them and say, hey, we have a client who was watching Chris Cuomo cover these scandals that were happening with his brother, and she was just really disgusted and decided to come forward with her own allegations against Chris Cuomo. CNN was like, okay, there's a lot going on with you. So they fired him, they terminated him, and there's actually more to this story. So before we get to the next thing about CNN, which is the meat of this video, Chris Cuomo is now actually suing CNN for $18 million, saying that he was supposed to be in contract for 4 more years. He made $6 million a year at CNN. $6 million a year. That's a lot. But he is suing, and he is alleging that Mark Zucker, the president of CNN, actually knew that he was helping his brother the entire time and did nothing until recently. Well, Mark Zucker is saying this is absolutely not true. If I knew about this, he would have been suspended a long time ago, and he never was. So we'll see what happens with that lawsuit. CNN is also saying that, yes, he was under contract for 4 more years, but it does say in that contract that if you become, if there's enough of a disrupt, then you can be released from your contract. Other people at CNN are saying there's no way this lawsuit is going to hold any water. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know what's going on. It's a he said, she said at this point. But let's get to what is happening now. Another anchor at CNN is being discredited, and it's Don Lemon, our favorite. The two people I don't like the most at CNN are Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon. Brian Stelter is third. He's a little bit more. Brian Stelter, actually, I find him very entertaining. He makes me laugh. Him and his little potato-like self. But this is what's happening with Don Lemon. So the Jussie Smollett trial has been ongoing. Jussie recently took the stand to defend himself and implicated Don Lemon while doing this. So this is what's happening with this. And Don Lemon now is getting totally blasted online. And people are also saying that this could possibly be an ethics violation. I don't know. I don't know if it's an ethics violation, but it is a weird conflict of interest. And you'll see why. So CNN host Don Lemon is getting blasted for covering his pal Jussie Smollett trial on his late night show without mentioning his own central role in tipping off the Empire star that he was being investigated by police. As he took the stand Monday, Smollett, 39, had told the court that he first knew that police had doubted his hate attack after getting a text message from Lemon. Text message was basically saying, hey, the cops don't believe you. They are investigating you. And that's when he found out that he was being investigated. And that was why Jussie Smollett did not turn his phone over to police, because that text message from Don Lemon was in it. Testimony quickly sparked comparisons between Lemon and his former CNN bro, Chris Cuomo, over the weekend, who was fired for his own meddling in his brother Andrew Cuomo's harassment scandal. While Cuomo refused to report on his brother's scandal, Lemon ended his Monday night show with a story on the latest news from the ex-Empire star's trial, with no mention of his own involvement. On straight-faced coverage without mentioning his own involvement sparked outrage online, with some calling him a crook and saying it was time for CNN to bid him goodbye. Here are some of the criticisms that were coming online aimed at Don Lemon. Somebody said, please resign and salvage what you have left of your disgraceful career. People are very mad. And that person added that viewers are tired of your lies and divisiveness. Joe Conscious said, more activism by Anchor at CNN. The network needs to now address this publicly as well. These texts from Lemon to Smollett came during an active, high-profile investigation. CNN mum thus far. Someone else said, did CNN's Don Lemon pull a Chris Cuomo? So again, this is just not a good look for CNN, and this is where CNN is at the moment. Of course, they're not the only network responsible for doing this or having anchors that act more like activists, but they are by far the worst. Let me know what you think. I mean, he did admit early on that they were friends and that this was personal for him, and I cool. But he played a key role in Smollett not handing over his phone. Was that a breach of ethics for tipping him off that police were onto him? At the end of the day, it's just one more notch on CNN's discredibility belt, in my opinion. And I really think the problem also is that all of these people seem to run in the same circle. And that's what a lot of our journalism has become. It's not hard-hitting journalism where you're trying to get to the bottom of it and you're trying to get to the truth. It's almost like you have all of these people who run in the same circles. They're all friends. And there's just conflict of interest after conflict of interest, and they're protecting each other. Journalism has become, especially at CNN, it's become them. They are protecting the ruling class, when it's supposed to be you're the one who is supposed to be investigating the ruling class and coming to the truth about the ruling class. You're not supposed to be protecting them. You're supposed to be for the people, and it's like they're all in this same elite circle. So how can you expect to have objective journalism when they're all in the same circle? Then on top of all of this, being involved in these investigations and tipping people off or giving them information while they're being investigated, while these are really big stories, they offend anyone that doesn't agree with them. If you don't agree with me, you're wrong. If you don't agree with me, you're the problem. You should never trust someone that says that. And I say it on this channel. Like, I like to make YouTube videos. I like to talk about news stories, and I like to give my opinion. But you should never take anything that I say. You should never have a blind allegiance to anyone or to what anyone says. You should take information, take opinions, and then do your own research and come up with your own opinions. So when I watch somebody like Chris Cuomo, like Don Lemont, like Brian Stelter, and they're basically telling you, if you don't agree with me, you're a bad person. Take everything as gospel of what I say. I don't trust people like that. Always trust people that say, hey, listen to me, listen to my opinion, and go do your own research and formulate your own opinion. Maybe we have the same opinion, maybe we don't, but you should never just blindly listen to anyone, and they expect their listeners to blindly listen to them while they lie, while they try to protect each other, while they tip people off, while they just push propaganda. But anyway, let me know what you think about all that. Will CNN finally wise up and maybe change its ways? I think that if they're smart, if they want to save their network, they will. I think they'll do what John Malone said, and I think they should hire actual journalists, not what have we been calling them? Content creators? That's what we call CNN, content creators. That came from Ryan Long. That's not me. Content creators, because they're not doing journalism. They're not trying to find the truth. They're not giving you the facts. They're creating content. They're creating a show. Even Chris Cuomo, it blows my mind that Chris Cuomo wasn't fired when he got busted out of quarantine. I mean, that happened over a year ago when he came down with the flu and he was supposed to be quarantined, and he was busted outside of quarantine with his family, and didn't even address that on his show. He still did his reveal when he came out of quarantine, and we're all like, you were out just the other day. He got in a fight with a bicyclist. That's how we know that this happened. He broke quarantine and he got in a fight with a bicyclist. And he was with his family. There was no social distancing or anything. And we're just supposed to buy this. It's a show. It's entertainment. It's content. It's not news anymore. But anyway, let me know what you think about everything, and I'll see you later. Bye.